Hey everybody, this is Doug Shoemaker with the Shoemaker Loan Team at Homestead Financial Mortgage. Now, today I want to talk a little bit about tax bills in my home state of Illinois. Can't say that I'm super excited about talking about tax bills, but I feel like it's kind of necessary because they can be really confusing. They can cause problems throughout your loan process, and even after closing, they can cause problems because some people end up overpaying because they didn't really understand what they were looking at, or no one took the time to let them know that they needed to apply for their homestead exemption, or maybe there were exemptions that they needed to reapply for. Now, we're not going to get into something called tax prorations today because they can be really confusing. And that is going to take us a bit into the woods, but I do have another video coming out soon on how tax prorations work and how they're calculated, so you'll be able to check that one out also. Now, do keep in mind, a lot of out-of-state lenders get these tax prorations wrong because they just don't really understand how those local taxes work. With the taxes being a year behind, it causes the seller to be giving a credit to the buyer at closing. And again, I'll go over that specifically with you if you'd like, or you can check out the new video. But the point is, if people don't understand how the taxes work here locally, it can cause your offer to not even get looked at, or it could cause you to think that you've got to bring a lot more money to the closing than you actually do. So taxes are really complicated. We get it. So let's start out by breaking this down. Now, in this example, you're buying a home in Illinois for about $216,961. The county calls this the fair property value. Now, the real estate taxes in this example are going to be about $5,887.53 per year. So usually, if you're looking at homes and you don't have a particular home picked out yet, if you're in Illinois and you're trying to calculate that monthly payment, you can use 2.2% of your purchase price for an estimate on the real estate taxes. If you're our close neighbor over here in Missouri, you can use 1% for the estimate with those taxes. Now, all states are going to have different tax rates and different tax bills that come out at totally different times. Even different counties in the same state, they have their tax bills come out at different times. So it's really important to have a lender that understands how the taxes work in the state where you're buying so that you can avoid any problems down the road. So let's go ahead and break this specific tax bill down in a whole lot more detail so you can see how we reach that final number. Now, don't feel shy about pausing the video and taking a screenshot, or if you need to reference back to it, and please know that you can always reach out to us if you have questions, and we'll break it down specifically to you. Now, the house's local or state equalized value in this example is about a third of the fair value, and it's not just this example. That equalized value is always going to be around a third. Now, in this case, $72,313 is that amount. From here, we're going to look at exemptions. Now, exemptions don't come off the tax bill itself. They come off that equalized assessed value. So the first one we'll cover today is going to be the owner-occupied or homestead exemption. Now, there are other exemptions like senior exemption, senior freeze, disabled veteran exemption, and we're going to cover those in separate videos as well. To reach the equalized value, we take the assessor's value of $70,446, multiply that by the township multiplier, then that by the state multiplier, and this leaves us with $72,313, or about a third of the fair property value. Now, because this is an owner-occupied property, we can use one of the most common exemptions, which is the owner-occupied or homestead exemption, and we can reduce the assessed value by $6,000. So the local tax rate in this example is 8.8784. So we're going to take the taxable value, which is the equalized value, minus the exemption, and we're going to multiply that by the tax rate. And this is how we come up with the tax bill of $5,887.53. So I'm sure you can see now why it's so important that you work with a hyper-local lender that understands all these different county and state tax bills, because it can cause some pretty serious problems for you, not just in your approval, and even getting an approval. So these tax exemptions can absolutely affect your monthly payment. They can affect your debt ratio and cause problems at closing, possibly keeping you from getting your loan approved. So if you're approved at your absolute max, which it seems like a whole lot of people are these days, if the lender you work with didn't account for the proper property taxes, this can definitely put you in a dark place, because most loan programs have a maximum debt ratio, which is basically the credit items that are on your credit report, the monthly bills, plus your new house payment divided by your gross monthly income. So if they proved at your absolute max and they were looking at a tax bill that was from a senior citizen or a disabled veteran, and you're neither of those, well, that could cause your debt ratio to go up when they accurately calculate this. And if they don't do it until halfway through your process, it may be too late. So that's why we're here to help you guys. We want you to understand these tax bills and understand these different situations to keep you out of trouble. And it's important to know that you do have to apply for most of these exemptions. Now, some of them actually require you to reapply each year as well. So you could lose them, or even worse, that if you didn't apply for them in the first place, you might lose thousands of dollars in savings. So I've heard from a lot of my customers that didn't know they qualified for these exemptions because the lender that they worked with to purchase their home just didn't go over it with them, or the title company didn't explain it to them either, so they ended up losing thousands of dollars. So don't assume people will file these for you or that they're going to tell you the right info. Make sure that you're working with somebody who knows how to help you with this and who'll kind of hold your hand through the process. So we'll do our best to educate you up front with videos like this, but we'll also be here to remind you even after closing. We'll offer a free annual review so we can actually look at your tax bill with you and make sure that you haven't missed any of these exemptions. So if you or somebody you love are getting ready to buy a home, please make sure that you work with a local team like mine that cares enough about their clients to help ensure that stuff like this is easily understood and less painful. We're here to help during the loan process and even after closing to connect you with other local trustworthy professionals that care as much about their clients as my team and I do here at Homestead. We believe in an honest, education-based process using the latest technology without sacrificing the personal touch. Technology should never be used to do what a human being should do. Now, we also won't bother you to do something before you're ready. You're not going to get dialed by 22 different people a day, blowing up your phone till I guess they say buy or die. We want to make sure that you know that we're here for you when you are ready, though. So shoot me a text or an email letting me know the best way to contact you, and my team and I can schedule a no-stress, no-obligation strategy session to answer any of your questions that you might have. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon.